It is a pleasure to welcome onto the show once again. He is Southern Illinois Salukis senior quarterback, Mark Iannotti.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks for taking some time to chat today, Mark. How's everything going?
It's going great. Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's definitely a pleasure. I've been following the Salukis for a little while now, and Mark, I know that there aren't any moral victories, but you guys really had it was really impressive showing this past weekend against Indiana. You guys had the lead for a good portion of that game this past weekend, and personally, you played lights out. I see that you completed 77% of your passes for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, as well as 106 yards rushing and another score. Now, you guys did come up 1 point short, 48-47. You guys didn't want to force the game into overtime after that clutch touchdown with about 20 seconds remaining in the game. You guys did go for 2 but failed to convert. Now, again, I know that there aren't really any moral victories, but it was a pretty damn good showing out of you and your team against the Big Ten team in the Indiana Hoosiers. What was the feeling like in the locker room after that game, and how does the team feel heading into Week 2 against SEMO?
Right after the game, our team took it pretty hard, to be that close and come up short. And, you talk all this about moral victories and everything. And, yeah, obviously, the way we play, there are a lot of positive things we could take from the game. But, at the end of the day, we're still 0-1. And, for a team, and we all believe that, we're a playoff caliber team. We can make the playoffs, just in the locker room and, the last couple of days, it doesn't sit well with us that we're 0-1. We had a chance to win that game there at the end, and, we felt we should have came away with it. But, the past is the past. We watched the film with our coaches, learned from it, and, now we're moving on. We're getting ready for SEMO.
And, of course, after that very impressive performance, Mark, you were co-Missouri Valley Football Conference Offensive Player of the Week. You don't really sound too satisfied with your performance, but what would you say was the reason for your success in Week 1? It was a pretty incredible performance out of you. You guys did come up 1 point short, but very impressive performance out of you and your teammates, of course. And what should we expect? Should we expect more of those big-time performances out of you this season?
Absolutely, and, just going through this off season and, after our first game, it really kind of shows how much, a full season of experience, just how far that goes. Having one season under my belt with the offense, with the coaches, just getting to know everything better. I'm not in the learning stages anymore, so I have, the whole offense down. I'm on the same page as my coach, so I can be an extension of our offensive coordinator and our coaches out on the field. So if I don't see something that, we talked about, I can get us in the right play. I can be, a coach on the field and just step up as that leader. And so I definitely say, I'm a lot more comfortable with everything. And, I definitely expect to, keep this rolling as the weeks progress.
And, Mark, I know that everybody is always looking forward to the first game of this season, but like you said, having another year under your belt with this team, with this offense, being more familiar with how things are going with this team and the offense, was there more excitement seeing as you guys would be playing a Big Ten team to open up the season?
Absolutely, and, just with the amount of young players we played, I think we played, close to, 7, 8, or even 9 freshmen. So, for them to come in and be able to stay poised, stay comfortable, not let the hectic environment get the best of them. I'm really surprised that, they were able to put their emotions aside and really lock it in and focus. And, just the way we competed throughout the entire game, nobody let off the throttle at all. Offensively and defensively, we both came together. We really felt that, team, family kind of chemistry out there on the field. And, none of us were given, an inch at the end of the game and put ourselves in a position to win. And, that's all you can really ask for. Now we just got to keep that rolling in these next couple of weeks.
So you throw that late touchdown towards the end of the game, like I said, about 18, 20 seconds remaining, and instead of kicking the extra point, Coach says that you guys are going for 2. What was going through your mind at that moment? Do you like that call that he has confidence in you guys to win the game in late fashion that way?
I love every second about that call because, letting up that late score by Indiana, I think with, just under a minute left, I think it was 58 seconds. And then, just with the offense's capability, we drove down the field in 40 seconds, punched it in the end zone, and, get within down 1, 18 seconds left on the clock. Just the way our offense was playing the whole day, I feel that, our coach really, put his trust in us, and, he feels really confident with what we can do offensively. So, I love everything about the call. I love the play call, everything that was set up, and obviously it's one play you want to convert. You wish you had back, wish you would have done something different, but I really appreciate that our coach trusted our offense to put us out there on the field and go for the win.
And it was very close. I mean, you guys almost did convert that 2-point conversion. Now, when they say that the game of football is a game of inches, I mean, you guys, people can watch that Southern Illinois and Indiana game, and they could certainly see that. Now, looking back to last season, Mark, in all 12 games, you ran for a total of 132 yards. This past weekend alone, you ran for over 100 at 106 yards and a score. Is the ability to run the ball yourself something that you plan on showing off more, or no, your job is to throw the ball, but if the opportunity is there, you'll absolutely tuck and run?
I think that, definitely a lot more weight's going to be put on my shoulders in terms of, those designed quarterback runs. I did a lot of work this season, and just compared to last season, one of my biggest goals going into this year was, just getting the best shape of my life, running this quick tempo, no huddle offense. It demands a lot on the quarterback physically. So, I just working my butt out, just extra workouts, extra running. I dropped 25 pounds this off season, just getting in, that best kind of running shape that I can. And just the thing that kind of separates me as a quarterback from a lot of the other players in the league is I'm a really tough runner, a tough player, and I don't mind taking hits. So if I have to lay my shoulder down, fight for a couple extra yards, I'm going to do it. You'll never see me slide in a game. So I definitely think the coaches really respect that out of me, and I'm definitely going to be a key factor in running the ball for our offense.
Southern Illinois Salukis quarterback Mark Iannotti, and you know what, your Twitter handle is the perfect way to show people how to pronounce your way. I absolutely love it. I actually have it typed out right here because, not going to lie, I was totally going to be pronouncing it Iannotti.
Yeah.
Iannotti, Mark Iannotti, joining the CS podcast presented by the NFL Draft Bible and NUC Sports. Once again, check out the NUC Sports magazine at NFLDraftBible.com. And Mark, a friend of mine, Sean DePasquale, he covers small school football, covers FCS football. We were actually talking the other day, and we really thought that you really elevated your game to another level. And like you said, I mean, you did a ton of work this offseason. You dropped some weight. What would you say is that one thing that you really spent some time to improve on during this offseason?
The biggest thing is just, my preparation. I've always had, really good study habits, being a good student. I have 3.89 GPA, so I kind of just translated that over into the film room. I basically lived in, Coach Hill's meeting room, just watching film, learning the offense, what coverages we're going to see this season, just, little things like that to perfect your craft, and really just getting on the same page with the coaches instead of, just having our plays, just memorizing them and stuff like that, fully understanding the full concept of the plays, what our coach is seeing, why he's calling the plays, and, just the little details. And, that's been the biggest change this, going into camp in this first game, just, attention to detail and, not busting plays, just knowing my assignments and everything. And, instead of thinking out there on the field, I'm reacting, and I have everything down. And so just, meeting with Coach Hill, getting on the same page, that's definitely been the biggest difference going into this season.
We're only one game into this season. I don't want to overreact, but I got to say that obviously your performance really impressed me. And something else, I mean, this is an offense that lost two of their key players from last year in Malcolm Agnew, running back, and tight end Michael Pruitt. What would you say about the guys that are stepping up now to become those reliable weapons for you as the quarterback?
The biggest thing I can say about the thing is that we have, just everybody's a weapon. Going into spring ball after losing, the key guys like Malcolm Agnew, Michael Pruitt, we didn't have that standout, all-conference or all-American player. So going into spring ball, everybody was on the same page, and it just, it upped the competition to a level where, now we're, into the second week of the season, everybody has just elevated their game so much because they weren't stuck behind that, that big standout receiver, standout running back. Everybody had a chance for that starting job. So we competed all the way up until that first game. Nothing was really set on a depth chart, so everybody had their opportunity, and it made us better as a team. We have a lot of depth with this, up-tempo, no-huddle offense, so we're rotating guys in and out, pretty frequently, and everybody's going to have their chance to step up and make that big play for us, and we feel confident in every one of our guys that they'll be able to do that.
Once again, Mark Iannotti, Southern Illinois Salukis quarterback, joining the show. And just a couple more questions for you, Mark, and then I'll let you go. I do appreciate your time. This weekend, you guys play SEMO. The Salukis have won the last 4 meetings. What are you and your teammates going to have to do to get the victory this season? I mean, have you studied them at all? I know there's so very little to check out on tape for this season, seeing as that we're only 1 game into the season. But do you have anything? I mean, have you guys been studying their film at all? I mean, what are you guys going to have to do to get that first victory of the season this weekend?
Yeah, we've watched their game that they played last week against Missouri. We've really broken that down, and defensively, they're doing a lot similar stuff that they did last season. So we're watching our game against them last season, seeing what we did offensively and what we liked against their certain looks. But just going into our game, our mindset is that this is a rivalry game. They're only 45 minutes away from us. A lot of their coaches, coached and played at Southern Illinois, so if there's one game they want to win this season, it's probably us. They probably had this game circled on their schedule for a while. So just going in with that mindset, it's a rivalry game. It's going to be a tough physical game. They had a lot of penalties and stuff like that, just, playing physical, playing fast. And, they're going to come in, and then we're going into their house. They're going to try to beat us up and, get inside of our heads. So, we just have to stay poised, stay focused, and, just come out ready to fight for 4 quarters.
Absolutely. And Mark, playing in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, this is a conference that had, two of the teams that were in this conference played in the FCS National Championship game last season. So, I mean, that for itself, that right there speaks for itself. I personally do believe it is probably the toughest conference in the FCS. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. And, a lot of people say, saying this week, how does it feel, having the game that you did against a Big Ten team, and how does that affect you looking forward to the season? Well, I mean, the moral of the story is our schedule doesn't get any easier from here. Indiana's a great football team, and they came out, had a heck of a game, but in the back of my head, I keep thinking, that's may or may not be the best team we're going to see this season. It's like you said, 2 of the teams in the national championship, and every team in the Missouri Valley can. Everybody can beat one another on any given day. It's just going to come down to consistency. Who can go out there and just, do the right things, attention to detail over and over again. That's the team that's going to come out on top. So, we want to be that caliber team. We want to be one of those teams on top, make it to the playoffs, have a chance to win in the conference. So, it really starts here next week at SEMO.
A lot of people, of course, are familiar with Carson Wentz, the North Dakota State quarterback, and Trey Roberson, the Illinois State quarterback, formerly of Indiana. If you just had a moment to sell yourself, why should people, and I think they should certainly be aware of you after this Week 1 performance, but for those who aren't aware of Mark Iannotti, why should they be aware of you, and why are you somebody to look out for?
Just how I was saying before, I'm a lot different than a lot of other quarterbacks. Growing up, in the youth football programs and everything, I never played quarterback. My first time playing quarterback was my freshman year in high school. So growing up, I wasn't even on the offensive side of the ball. I always played linebacker, and so it's just going back. I have that, physical, just, hitting mentality. I love the contact of the sport. I think that's what football's all about. So in terms of me, running the ball and everything, like I said, I'm not going to slide. I'm a tough player. I love the sport, and I'm gonna go out there and compete. I'm gonna give everything, leave it all on the field, which I feel I did against Indiana, and set the bar pretty high. And now it's just I got to follow it. But and then just if you look in at all the little things, the past quarterbacks that have gone, just all the off the field issues, you don't have to worry about that with me. I've been on the dean's list every semester of college, 3.89 GPA, just present myself really well, and I just I love the sport of football, love the game.
Final question for you, Mark. And this past weekend, you compiled a total of 517 yards, which is now a school record for most yards in a single game. Like I said, you were named MVFC Co-Offensive Player of the Week. What are your expectations for this season, though? I mean, you said it. I mean, you guys have some high expectations. You guys do expect to at least be in the FCS playoffs. Is this a legit contender to arguably win the toughest conference in the FCS in the Missouri Valley?
I think so. With the things we showed Week 1 against Indiana, obviously there's some things we have to clean up, but I really like the way our team came together, and we definitely are a family. And you don't want to look too far ahead. You don't want to start saying, we want to win the conference and everything. So I feel like it's so important in our conference, just with the talent level, that you really do have to take it week by week. So now, right, our our only goal, our only focus is, we have to go out, we have to take care of SEMO, and then we got a bye week after that, and then finish our non-conference schedule with Liberty, and then we're into the heart of the conference, taking it week by week. All right, we got to get this win. We have to be 1-0 after this, and then just gradually go and hopefully have a chance at winning the conference at the end of the season.
Hey, Mark, like I said, I really do appreciate your time. That was my final question for you, and I'm certainly wishing you nothing but the best the rest of the season. Hopefully we could do this again down the line. You have anything else for us before I let you go?
No, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this.
Hey, thanks, Mark. It was a pleasure chatting with you. Take care now.
Yep, you too.